Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Fair warning right at the beginning, unless you want to watch me looking at a map, drawing lines on it and talking about what I might be up to in the coming months, then this might not be the video for you. You still here? Good. That's fantastic news, because we're on to one of my favourite subjects. I bought a map. A road map to be precise. If anyone under 40 is watching, this is how we used to navigate the country before all the electronic wonders of the last few years. If you were lucky, it even had a city plan on it of the place that you were going. If it didn't, then you had to buy another map or one of those little books. So what's occurring? Well, I've got an idea for some videos and thought visual aid, map, ruler, pen might help make explaining things a little easier. Before I get onto that, I best explain that I like lines on maps. I like maps. I like points on a compass. And this isn't the immediate plan, but this is a plan for some time, hopefully in the not too distant future. A few years ago I decided, we live on an island, and the island's called Great Britain, and there are cardinal points to most countries. That would be the most northerly, easterly, westerly and southerly. And I decided to add to that the most northwesterly, northeasterly, southwesterly and southeasterly. So quite a few years ago now, I spent on and off over a year visiting our cardinal points. So I visited the most northerly point on the island of Great Britain, Dunnet Head, the most northeasterly point, Duncansby Head, and then all along the north coast of Scotland. One of the biggest thrills I've ever had really was going to see the lighthouse at Cape Wrath. That's quite a journey to get there. I'd like to do that one again. Then it says, searching for it, because it's not easy to find in all this squiggly bit on the west coast. It's further down, Gareth. It's there. It's the peninsula of Ardnamurchan, and the point of Ardnamurchan there. There's a lighthouse on there, and that's actually the most westerly place on the island. You don't always see it because it's almost like an island itself, and it's a tortuous journey, this road here, dearie me. But yeah, so that would be northeasterly, northerly, northwesterly, most westerly point. Yeah, I'll get back to you in a second when I've turned the map around. So on the map it's got England on one side and pretty much Scotland on the other side. I think the same year or maybe the year after, spent some time, somewhere, it's on the little village on the Norfolk-Suffolk border. Had a lovely holiday and went to Lowestoft, and it's actually the most easterly point on the island is in an industrial estate just outside Lowestoft. But it's really cool because if you turn your back to the sea, just like all the others, and facing land, everybody in the whole country is in front of you and there's nothing behind you. So that was a thrill. And then holiday to Cornwall, ticked off two more. Most southwesterly tourist trap on the island, and also the most southwesterly place on the island, Land's End, and a kind of a Land's End theme park type thing going on. I didn't enjoy it. And then I did enjoy the most southerly place on the island, the Lizard Point on the Lizard Peninsula, and got to go up the lighthouse there and into the light room, which was a thrill. Now I'm asking for some help here, YouTube, because that's all of them. North, east, west, south, northeast, northwest, southwest. But I've never been able to figure, and if there's anybody watching from Kent, you might be able to tell me. I've never been able to figure where the most southeasterly point of the island of Great Britain is. Is it Dungeness? Which kind of looks right, doesn't it? South of it. Or is it here, South Foreland? This kind of area, St Margaret's Cliff. And I've googled it, and it doesn't come up as. I'm thinking it's there, Dungeness. But if you know, you could help me out, because it's the only one I haven't done. But one of my plans for the future, if I'm lucky enough to be able to do it, is to visit them all again. In one trip would be fantastic. But I can't even start contemplating that trip till I know where I'm going here. So on to the reason for this video, and without getting it too long, and correct my geography if it's wrong, but the Earth is divided into lines, imaginary lines of longitude that go down, and latitude that go across. Latitude would start, I think, from the equator, goes north to the North Pole, including the Arctic Circle, the Antarctic Circle, the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn. Then the latitude goes south from the equator, and the lines of longitude, the ones that go up and down, go around the Earth from the Prime Meridian, the 0 degrees of longitude. And pause while I organise the map again. 1 second. And the 0 degrees Prime Meridian, I think it's also known as the Greenwich Meridian because it passes through Greenwich in London. All the lines of longitude work from that. So 0 degrees would be here, and if you went east, you would then go 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, and if you went west, you would go 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, till you got to, is it 180, which is on the other side of the planet, which is the international date line. The longitude both pass through the poles. One goes through the north, it goes through the North Pole and the South Pole, and obviously they make themselves coming back because it's a circle. I did read somewhere, don't know if this is correct, but when the 0 degrees of longitude goes through the Antarctica, comes up the other side and leaves the Antarctica, it doesn't touch land again. And this is where I come in and my map comes in. It doesn't touch land again until it reaches here, coming down from the coming up from the South Pole to the North Pole, and then down from the South Pole, and it hits the English coast at a place called Sandlemere near Tunstall, which isn't even marked on this map. It's just north of Withensea, and it's about there. So, and then it goes down through the country, down, to the south coast, to a place, or to a point near a place called Peacehaven, near Brighton. And then it leaves England, goes through France. Does it go through Spain, into Africa, down through West Africa, out into the Atlantic, then back down to Antarctica, across Antarctica, and then up and back here. So that's the video. It's just to tell you that I'm going to try and probably do those points of the compass on the island of Great Britain again at some point in the future. What is the most southeasterly point of England, of the island of Great Britain? And I'm going to make a series of videos starting here, where I'm going to draw a line in the sand, and I'm going to, as you can do at this point, step over from the Western Hemisphere into the Eastern Hemisphere. I'm then going to travel down to the main road near Patchington, because there's an actual road sign that tells you where you are on the planet. And then I'm going to make a big loop round to the Humber Bridge, come down to Cleethorpes, and it crosses the coast somewhere just east of Cleethorpes. That might be it for that day, and then I'm going to return. The plan is, and follow as closely as I can, which is where lines on maps come in. In a bit, I'm going to draw a red line on this map that represents the Greenwich Meridian. So then when I'm travelling through the country, I can keep as close as possible to it. Anyway, it comes down here, and it passes somewhere near Boston in Lincolnshire, which I've never been to. And then it comes down through Cambridgeshire, down to here, which is that in Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire, down to, which we were about there, weren't we? And then it comes down through London. So I've got ahead of myself. So I'm going to, on the second part of the trip, I'm going to drive down to Boston, probably stay overnight in Boston, then maybe go home. Then on the third part of the trip, I'm going to drive to Boston, follow this down towards London, stay somewhere on the outskirts of London for a couple of days, and then do the bit in London, go to Greenwich, see the Meridian, then the next day go into London, and then get the train, I think, if the plan comes together, and get the train down to Brighton, and then try and find my way to Peacehaven, and then I will have followed the Greenwich Meridian, the Prime Meridian, through England. So that's the plan. I'm just going to draw this line. I'll get back to you in a moment. So I'm in the south of England. I'm going to draw the line on the map. And I know what he's saying. Well, I know what some of you are saying. That this is rubbish, because how do you know that's the Greenwich Meridian, Gareth? Well, I just want a rough guide, a visual aid. On my phone, I have an app called OS Locate, which gives you your position. It's when you're out walking. It's very good. If you fall over, break your leg, whatever, it allows you to message people your exact coordinates, so they can send help. So what I intend to do is, this map's just for this line's just for reference, really. But when I'm in particular places, I'm going to do the OS locate and let you know. But I think that's about right. And I'll let you know when I'm at 0 degrees longitude. When I looked on a much more detailed map, 0 degrees longitude went just past Flamborough Head, Tunstall, Cleethorpes, Lincolnshire, Boston, Cambridgeshire, yeah, so I should be able to tell you exactly where we are, to within a few feet. So there we are, guys. That's the plan. Getting into some really out my comfort zone here. I think, do we leave the north when we leave? I think we leave the north when we leave, when we cross the Humber Bridge, don't we? But blimey, by the time I get down here, it's like being in a foreign country. It's that long since I've been down south. Hertfordshire, London, blimey. What's the worst that could happen? And then a train to Brighton, and then Brighton. And as I said, I think I've gone wrong somewhere, because it said Peacehaven, but don't know. We'll find out when we get there, won't we? So that's the plan, guys. Thanks for watching. Something a bit different, but I used to always have like mad geography adventures like this, just going places for the sake of it, just to see what's there when you get there. And I think that's what I need in my life again. So hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll be going to Cleethorpes and Sandlermere for episode 1 of this epic. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll say cheerio.